Welcome to ELF, Insects and Twigs in Winter. This is Center 3, Going and Growing in Winter. In this center, you're going to have students explore and learn about the nature of twigs and galls and insects in winter. And so there'll be some preparation before you get started. And what you'll need to do is you're going to set up basically a game of musical chairs, because the first activity is called Shuffle for Shelter. And there are directions for this activity in the bin. And so it'd be a good idea to read through those. The materials that you'll need to do this activity most of them are located in the bin. You'll need the Shuffle for Shelter winter habitat photos, and you'll need the photo, and also included in there are the photos of the predator, the woodpecker. You will need manila envelopes that will be provided. The example today is just a regular envelope, but I'll have manila envelopes in there for you to attach to the chairs. Tape, and then you'll need some way to play music. If you happen to have a CD player at your house you could bring, that would be great. Or any other way that you have to bring music to the classroom, because you'll be playing musical chairs, so you'll need a source of that, and then have the music stop and kids find a habitat they can live in, and one kid is going to end up getting eaten by a woodpecker. But anyhow, so these directions tell you that before the rotations begin, set up the chairs for musical chairs with enough chairs for all students in the group. But unlike traditional musical chairs, the child that is eliminated will have a woodpecker in their envelope. There will be no need to fight for chairs, so you'll have enough chairs, every kid can have their own chair. And hopefully that'll make it a little bit quieter game. So that's your preparation. The student preparation will be discussing the importance of insects finding adequate winter shelter. So you can talk about hardships that insects face, like cold or lack of water, lack of food, and predators, and why good shelter is important for their survival. Also included in this center is an example of a life cycle of a particular insect and how it winters over, and that might get them thinking. Lots of kids probably don't know, and lots of adults don't either. I didn't until we did this ELF unit about galls, and a gall is a thing that forms on a plant after an insect lays an egg. And so this is an example. This is a life cycle poster about that will help explain it and get kids thinking, wow, there's all different kinds of ways that insects winter over that I never knew before. So get them thinking about that, and then ask them to pretend to be different insects. So they're all gonna, and explain to them that when the music stops, they're gonna need to find a habitat that's suitable, and the habitat that's suitable is the empty chair that will then have a picture of hopefully a habitat and not a woodpecker. So you begin playing by starting the music and having the kids circle the chairs, and stop the music and have the kids sit. They should open the envelope and make sure that it's a safe habitat. So hopefully if they open their envelope, they'll pull out a safe habitat, like a pile of leaves would be a very good safe habitat. However, if they pull out a woodpecker, then that child is eliminated, and explain to the students that the woodpecker represents a predator and eats the insect. So then you remove one chair and change all the photos in the envelopes. Maybe the student, if you're working with older kids that's been eliminated, could help you change photos. And make sure that now there's one less chair, and one out of all the chairs that are left has the woodpecker in it again. So you keep playing, and in the very last round, then you'll use 2 woodpeckers. And that all is explained in these directions. So as you wrap up this activity, you might talk about some of the photo cards and talk about what insects would winter over in these different habitats. Like in the beehive, the bees are gonna winter over, but who would winter over in a rolled up leaf, or who would winter over in a cocoon on a tree? And there's a guide in here too that tells you lists some different insects and where they might winter over to help you have a discussion with the kids and get them thinking about it. So that's part one, the musical chairs action part of the Learning Center. And part two is just a super quick craft activity where you're going to show them kind of how a gall gets created. And so what you're going to do is you're going to get a bean and you're going to put it inside of 2 cotton balls. And then you're going to get a twig and put that inside the 2 cotton balls too, kind of like that. So the bean represents the insect, the egg that the insect laid. And if it's the goldenrod gall, then it was laid way back last May. And then you're going to take some Scotch tape and tape it all together. You can see this activity takes little to no time. Oh, my stick broke. How sad. And there is now an insect wintering over inside of this gall attached to this twig. And the last thing you'll need to do is, with the Sharpies that are in the bin, you'll need to have the students write their name on here. And that way they know it's theirs and they can take it home and they can talk to their parents about what they did in ELF today. That's always good for them to be able to have something to start the conversation and show their parents what they learned. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. And good luck. Thanks.